Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Rethinking Training in the Modern Workplace. I'm Emilia, and I'll be your host for these sessions. So before we get started, I would like to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, Vimeo, for making this session possible. We really appreciate their support in helping us to bring this conversation to you. So just a few quick things to keep in mind. First, your mic will stay muted throughout the session. And if you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to drop them in the chat box. And we will also be recording this session, so do not worry if you, for example, if halfway you have missed out the session, we will send the recording to you after we wrap up. And we will also be having a Q&A session at the end, so please stick around. And lastly, today's sessions will be running about 1 hour. So next, I will be talking about why these sessions matter to you. So first, it is actually to understand the gaps in current corporate training approaches. And next is to discover the strategic value of blended learning. And finally, our product specialists will also be walking you through one solution called Class In that can use for blended learning and increase your training productivity. So let's take a quick look at the flow for today. We will start by aligning on key terms like hybrid and blended learning. Then look into some of the common struggles L&D teams face. And we will also walk through practical ways to solve those challenges. And finally, we will introduce a real-world example of what a smarter training setup can actually look like. So now I'm actually excited to introduce our speaker for today, known as Jia Seng, or B, our product specialist who works closely with organizations to solve hybrid learning challenges. So welcome, B.
Hi everyone, it's B here, the product specialist of the hybrid solution in e-learning minds. So today's, we're going to align some of the terms that we're going to use today. So the first term that we're going to keep on repeating is the hybrid classroom. So what do we mean hybrid classroom here for today? Hybrid classroom is sections where you have the students online and offline together. And the keywords here is about synchronous learning. Of course, the second terms that we're going to use a lot is blended training. So the blended training here means it's a flexible approach where it includes the before, during, and after the training sections. Where in the middle, the trainers will give you some online resources or some self-paced learnings, where at the same time, you will also get the guidance or have some interaction with the trainers on the live sessions. So of course, we would like to highlight with you of some struggles that actually the current L&D is having. Have you had such problems? Type in the chat box and let me know. So the first one, have you ever think that, do I want to send my staff for a fully physical trainings or a online trainings or a hybrid trainings? Because I want as much as the staff to get the benefit from the training sessions. But sending them for the physical trainings, then how about my workload there? No one is working already. So it leads to the second problems where the workshops done already. I send so many staff for the workshop or the trainings. After that, what else? Do they apply the knowledge when they're trained to the work or not? That's the second struggle. Of course, in the same time, just now I mentioned that the productivity. I send so many staff to the trainings. My work, what else? It's at the same time, no one is working because I send them for 5-day trainings. What else is there? That's the struggle that we realize currently the L&D facing when they're going to decide to send their staff for the training sessions. Of course, here comes where some of the clients, they say, how about we engage blended trainings? How about we engage a hybrid or online sections? Then what's the challenge is here? Here is some of the things that we identify. The first one, lack of engagements. Let's say if I doing blended learnings, trainer sends some materials to my staff. What if the staff having problems on the content itself? What if the staff doesn't really catch what's the trainers trying to share with them? That's the first barrier. Second, the ways of having the sessions. Let's say we're doing online sessions or a hybrid sessions, the way of doing that sessions. Because hybrid sessions, we can attend that anywhere, anytime. But cost is there. I need to send for the physical transportations, the venue, all that. So to save the cost, we do the virtual sessions. So virtual sessions, how about if there is any challenge? Because a lot of times when we use the conventional ways of doing the sessions, it causes another problems. Where the hybrids and remote sessions is a bit hard for the trainers to adapt that because I didn't see them physically. And this always causes the no-no for the L&D to decide for hybrid sessions because a lot of them feel that hybrids or online training is not working because of the interaction part, because of the connectivity between the trainer and the participants. And of course, let's say we do so-called the blended sessions, the trainer unable to access to the learner's learning progress as well. If I send them email, if I send them some materials, how can the trainer decide is the participants is learning or not? How's the learning progress so far? That's some of the common barrier that the participants say a no for blended or hybrid sessions. But blended or hybrid sessions can be a very powerful ways of doing the sessions because it provides a lot of flexibility. But the key here is the tools. And here is today what we're going to share with you is about the solutions. Of course, the solutions include the hardware and the software. When the hardware, of course, hardware I won't going to highlight too much today because that will be quite long sections. Let's say if you're interested in the hardware as well, contact our sales later. So today our focus will be the software because software, I always like to highlight this to my client. Software is always the key. Why do I say that? It's because software is the part that decide how effective is your sessions. How do you communicate with your participants? How do you make everything synchronous or asynchronous with your participants and the trainer? No matter your trainer is internal trainer or you engage some outsourced trainer. Software is the key. Because all this while, we heard a lot of our clients, how they do it is that I want to communicate with my clients, with my participants. What do I use? Email. And email always is one way of the communications. How about they have questions, they have some problems, and how I keep track on their learning progress. Because software is a part that make the games change a lot. So here I'm going to share with you the solutions that we're going to use today. It's called ClassIn and how it actually looks like and how it actually fulfill the requirement that I mentioned just now. So here you can see we're talking about the ClassIns. You can see from the video here where we have a lot of parts. Not only just a live sessions or a place for you to store the materials, we can prepare the materials overhead as well. So we do have a cloud where let's say you have onboarding training, you have some on-job, like keep on updating with the participants that always need to use the same materials. You have some dedicated learning journey. First, what to learn. Second, what to share with them. You have all these journeys when you can directly store in the platform, always duplicate with different group of participants. So of course here we're talking about the program itself let's say it's a onboarding program. You have the first things that understand about the company vision and mission. That's very common, right? This one, you can just directly share the materials with the participants. You design out all the plans. Then the second sections, you can have some activity with them. What do you understand about company departments, what different departments do? So from there, you can have some activities requirements from them. So you can see from here as well. At the pictures here, you can see I have designed some materials with them, with my participants. I can design the schedule with them. I can even track have they learned it or not directly with the platform itself. And even I can see their result, how well will the participants do. At the same time, once I have do the trackings, I can give feedback with my participants as well. In these sections, what else you can look for? Or in this part, what else you can improve before we comes to the training. So from here, ways before they comes to the live training sessions, they're already learning. Now we're talking about the training sessions, not until the participants comes to my class, only they start the learning. They start way before, 1 week or 2 weeks before they comes to my class. And here we're talking about the productivity. Because from here, I've shared the materials with them, they can do the self-paced learning. Why do I mean self-paced learning here? They can learn anywhere, anytime. So in here, I don't have to keep track of my participants all the times. Materials to them, I only need to check have they do it, or let's say they haven't do it. Always happen, right? You share something to your participants, then they just leave it there. Then in here, we do have some record or reminder sections to ping them, you have what activities haven't complete. So participants, anytime they can just, let's say during lunch times, just 1 hour lunchtime, I can start my learnings. Then I'm back to my job. At the same time, what benefit as a trainer? Here, I can align their understanding about my topic. Not until my sections, then only I explain the theory so that everyone is keep on track, all that. Because beforehand, I already give them some materials, or I can even create a quiz with them, test on their understanding on what they do the self-paced learning. Here we're talking about personalizations. Different group have different understanding, right? Personalizations to help the trainers to run the session better. And from there, we save the time for the live sessions. Because no longer I need to repeat the theory, I can directly run on practical. We can shorten the trainings periods, the live training sessions. Productivity increase. So of course, next one we're going to talk about is the live sections. This one is more like how we can upgrade your current practice. Because all this while, let's say if doing a live sessions and you have online and offline participants, you want to do the interactions. Early I mentioned, right, a lot of my clients said hybrid or online doesn't work because lack of interactions. And you can see from the videos here is quite a lot of the activities that we can run with online and offline participants. We can even give award to them to motivate the participants. So here is talking about the collaborations between online and offline. At the same time, within the offline as itself, we can get everyone to participate. I believe you also experience, right? Sometimes when during your training sessions, some very active, some very passive. But trainers, I want to make sure everyone in the same pace. Everyone can share their ideas. And I need to keep track on everyone's feedback. So this is the part where when you change your trainings, become digitalized, every feedback is being recorded. Those times, how we do that? We give paper. Everyone write on the paper. Then what happened with the paper itself? Just do a very quick thinking. what happens in those times you have the training sessions? What happened with those paper? Do you still have that with you now after the long time of trainings? Right. But now everything digitalized, we can always keep that record. So it becomes some things that can bring back for the participants even like months after the training sessions. So of course, next one we're going to talk about is the after the trainings. We have some activities for them. Because always after the trainings, what we experience the most after the training, that's all. What else we can have that? How do I justify the ROI? Normally, how we justify the ROI is that after they do the trainings, they bring back to their job, right? Once what they learn is what they apply. But how are we going to justify that? If the training just end after the 5 days, for example, we need assignment, we need quiz, we need reports. A very simple one. Let's say we talk about leadership, how you manage your team. This is some of the soft skills that are very common. We keep on sending our staff to do the trainings, but does it effective or not? Does it bring back the ROI or not? So from there, here is we introduce about blended learning. Is after the training sections, we can still engage with the trainers to have reports. Let's say now after the training, imagine now you apply your blended training with the teams. After the training already, back to your job, you start applying. It's a time when you find out problems. During the training, you just imagine your problems. But now it's a real life problems. How can I overcome that? It's the part where you need trainers to sit with you, to explain with you in this situation what you can do. In this situation, what is the suggestion way for you to overcome or for you to apply the 5-day knowledge? So in here, we need a platform for you to have the communication with the trainers. Let's say 1 week after, trainers ask you to submit a report. What you apply, what challenge do you face, and what is the suggestions? Does that bring back the ROI better? You can imagine that yourself. Of course, about the knowledge enhancements, what you learn, always we have the quiz after that. But what else? Let's say if after the sessions, we have some materials to share with you further, to further enhance your knowledge, then always with the same platforms, we can share with that. So at the same times, HR or L&D side, you need to know how's the learning progress. Because HR or L&D, you doesn't sit through the training all the while with every participants, right? In every training sessions. So you need to understand, once I send the participants to these training sessions, what's the outcome? How's the feedback from the trainers? And what's the report? Especially for those who need to apply for the HRD Corp claiming, you need the reports, the learning reports, the attendance. And with the platform here, we can auto track and auto generate the reports for you. Trainer, you can understand how's your training progress, how's your performance today. Participants also can understand how well they do in these sessions and what to improve. Feedback always will be 2 ways. So this is where we have the journey about our so-called blended learnings today. Start from the trainers prepared the materials or the training session with you. Let's say you engage for the outsourced trainer, then they need to understand your goal of today's trainings or your purpose of having these trainings. Then the trainers can start design on that. Within the same platform, I can start sharing the materials with the participants. Then we have the live sections and we have the after trainings, evaluations, and the reports. So it becomes a complete training sessions from zero until they master the topic itself. Not just they start everything from the first day and expect them to master everything at the end of the 5th day. That won't happen, I claim for you. So this is the part where we can have the complete journey, sit with your trainers way before the training sessions, and a few days or weeks, or even you want to have better, you can apply for months after the training sessions. How you're going to apply the knowledge with the complete journey in blended trainings methods. Of course, here is the platform that we introduced just now. The pictures and the video show just now is the platform that we use. It's called Classins, where it includes the 5-in-1 solutions, where you can do the live sessions, you can have the communications with your participants, cloud service, interaction tools for the engagement, as well as a very simple learning management system, where you can directly apply with your participants and the trainers, either your outsourced trainers or your internal trainers. So of course, some bonus for those who join today, we actually do design a sections for you to experience yourself in this Classin platform. Because never experience with just what I said just now, it won't let you understand how actually this blended training works. So for those who are interested in how's the experience looks like, how will it be different than your current training way, you can scan this QR code, or my teammates will share the link in the chat rooms there. You can click the links, register with us, so we can share you more details on how to download the Classin apps, as well as how we can have the better experience with you. So before we end our session today, we will like to have a Q&A session with you. Just now I have shared so many ideas with you. Some relate to you, some is some things that you struggle in, and some you might able to switch next. So you can type in the chat rooms there, and my teammates will help me to put up the questions, and I will try to answer it for you. If you have any other questions, you can type in the Q&A. There's a area for Q&A as well as the chat box. Then my teammates will help to show the questions for me that I can answer for you. So I saw there's some questions here. The first one is, does Classin offer mobile access or mobile apps? How does the experience differ from desktop? That's a very good question, because we're talking about hybrids, we're talking about online. We can't identify what are the devices that the participants is using. That's why Classins do offer different apps or the download versions for the PC for Classin. So in here, actually participants, even yourself, can go to the browser, look for class-ins. That is for the PC user. Then for the tab, iPad or phone user, you can go for your App Store or Apple Store to get these class-in apps. And of course, how is the difference between the desktop and the phone user? I would say the experience is almost the same. It's just the size that you can see the screen lah. So because in class-in we promote the synchronous learnings, is that we want to ensure whoever that use different device or you learn from anywhere, as long as you can access to the class, you get to experience the full experience of the training session itself. So of course here, even if you are using phone, you still can do the interactions like I showed in the presentation just now. There are some videos showing that you can do all that interaction with the trainer itself, or even trainer can share the materials with you. And here we're talking about asynchronous. You can learn it anywhere, anytime. And for the live sessions, you can also use any device that you prefer to. That's the first questions. Of course, when it comes to the second questions, is that possible to track engagement level during the live sessions? And yes, the answer will be a yes, because in class-ins, we are not talking about just doing the interactions, because everything is digitalized. Even for those who doing fully physical training, you can even use the platform as a tool to do the interactions. We personally experience that when we run the trainings, we do the interactions, everyone just participates with their device there. And here we're talking about another concept that's called BYOD, bring your own device, where every participant just use their phone. When the trainer asks them to answer something or give the feedback about certain topic, they can just use their phones and fill in their ideas. So even trainer no need to pass around the papers, and everything is digitalized. Anytime trainer can collect back their data, and even they can just show their data to everyone. So everyone learning is at the same place. This applies to those hybrids or fully online. Because everyone can see the same thing. Or even like we do have some tools that other virtual conference tools have. It's called Rethinking. Believe that you are quite familiar with these tools. But even with the partners, if anyone to share ideas. But did you notice that always when it comes to prepare for the presentation later, only one or two persons is doing the writing or marking down their points. So is this like collaborations, or they are just brainstorming? Those collaborations will expect everyone's input, right? But in classrooms, we do have the collaboration tools where allows everyone to start participating, not just one or two doing the typing or doing the but there are points there. Anyone can do pictures, audios, or some of them is taking a pictures of what they did and share with the rest. That's allowed for those kinds of engagements. So of course, let's say about how we track the engagement level. All the things, since it's digitalized, it will be recorded down. The systems, the class-in system will auto record participants' reactions, their feedback, or even they get awards. All this will be tracked and recorded for the participants. So here comes when you report to your management, how well do my participant did? I sent my staff to the trainings, how well do they did? It comes from there to charge the ROI at the first phase. Not just until that level when they start applying, we can also start to see how's their participations. I send my staff to trainings. Do they focus on the training or not? Or they're just listening without any feedback or that? Because in classrooms, everything is trackable. So we have the third questions. Can learners interact with each other during and after classes? So here, yes, I would say depends. This question, I would say it quite depends on what kind of activities you provide, because trainer have always have the control of the whole classes. Not just they can just easily share. We will depends on by topic. Let's say now I would need a discussions. I have a topic for the participants before they come to my training sessions. I want them to discuss on certain topics. For example, I want to understand your understanding about what? About a topic. So everyone can start putting input. Everyone can start sharing their ideas. And everyone start the training sessions way before the training's actual sessions, live sessions there. So here's other interactions that we can have, or even we have another tools, it's called the chat. Just act as simple as your communication tools like WhatsApp, or some using Twitter, some of that. Or some business-wise, email. But email a bit slow, right? You need to send in emails, wait for the replies, and normally emails takes days or hours even with their prompt replies. But in the class in chat there, you can immediately get the feedback right due in the apps itself, in the platform itself. Because we engage on the synchronous learnings and asynchronous learnings, so we want to ensure everyone's, even they learns in their place. During lunch times, during break times, or even anywhere that they want, we want to ensure whatever they learns, they will get the feedback from the trainers. Trainer can also understand, if I want to prepare the training sessions more dedicated for this group of participants, I can have some activities for them to pre-evaluate the participant first. Then when my training sessions, I can be more understanding about my participants, so I can adjust a bit on my pace, for example, or even on my topics that are going to highlight, or even some participants, they are more curious on certain parts. I can schedule more time for that topic itself. So these are some of the example that I would say we can have for the interactions parts. So of course here, I think the fourth is similar as the third ones. So of course here we're talking about when we're asking questions, when we try to have the interactions with the participants, always we will rely on the tools. But for physical, I believe trainers are professional on that. L&D, you always engage on a good trainers that can't rely or relate the activities with your core value. But if we comes to the live sections, or if we comes to the online sections, it always becomes a question: how can a trainer do the interaction without the physical touch? So classrooms do have bundle of tools for the interactions, or create some mini games, or create some engagement parts with the participants so that they are engaged during the sessions. We just turn those physical to online or to hybrids, where physical we still can use the tools for the data capturing. Like I mentioned in the presentation just now, do you still remember where do you place your paper, your notes after the trainings, even so long time? That's the questions. When digitalized, you can always save it and refer back after that. So we have more questions coming in. So is it possible to track engagement level during live sessions? I think the engagement level is more depends on how well do the participants feedback. How active is it? So when this come to this part, it is a live activities. We are not just waiting the participants to reply. We are not just waiting the participants to feedback. Trainer also can track who is doing the activities and who is not. And from there, we can identify who is the one who focusing in the sessions and who is the ones who having challenge. Or either they have some doubt about the topic, about the questions, they don't know how to answer. Or they need some SOS from the trainers. How can I convert my idea into words? So from there, trainers can immediate get the questions answered so that everyone is aligned. Because not everyone is have the same level of understandings during the sessions. Normally one session is at least like 15 participants or lesser is like 10 participants. Even with lesser participants, everyone's thought is different. Everyone's angle of understanding is different. So from there, trainer can easily align on that. This is where we're talking about personalized learning. Different group, different persons, or different company that engage on the same topics, they understand it differently. So from there, trainer, they can make use of what their knowledge have, their experts, and adjust based on the dedicated clients that they have. So our next question is, can we upload and manage our own learning content, or is it mainly live sessions based? It's both. I would say it's both. So Classin is actually a platform for you to host your sessions, for you to run your trainings. You can, from there, you can just put in whatever your materials that you currently having. Let's say PPT. You can still make use of the PPT to run your trainings. Or you can just make use some Word documents to get the feedback from your participants, or PDF to get participants to submit the reports after the training sessions. We're talking about ROI, right? Trainings are always refer back to the ROI. If I send my staff to the trainings, how well will they refer, or how well do they apply their learnings to the workflow? From there, the trainer can have sets of reports for the participants to submit in. Now not just talking about like the trainers giving feedback or the trainers ask them to do something. Participants can submit their reply as well. How well do they do after applying the knowledge? So from there, all these materials that created by the trainers, you can reuse back. You can still apply whatever you are using into the platforms for a viral, more bigger skills of clients that you have. Even we experience that we have clients locally, and we at the same time we have clients in other country. We do synchronous learnings, hybrid sessions with physical for local and online for other country. So everyone's experience and they can enjoy the same sections wherever you are. So the next questions will be, can trainer reuse or duplicate previous lessons or course templates easily? Yes, I would say this one will be a yes. Because in Classin there are another function that which I didn't highlight it today. It's called Teacher Ins, where these functions actually supports trainers to easily duplicate all the training plans. Let's say for a training, you have a 5 days trainings. Day 1, what you're going to teach, what activities that you're going to have, and what are the plan it is. day 1, day 2 until day 5. Different days have different topics to highlight. And when it comes to a new client that you want to engage with, you can just easily duplicate to the new groups. Let's say a very basic topic, onboarding training. Everyone should have an onboarding training, right? To get your new staff familiarized with your current workflow or understand your company culture, for example. So all these activities are just duplicates. If every week you have new stuff coming in for those big company, every week you need to do the same again and again. Before that, we do have engaged on doing the e-learnings, but some is realized that e-learning is not enough because e-learning is asynchronous. After they learn, they understand it same as what we want them to understand. There's a question. So we still need trainers to step in. And in classrooms, you can always duplicate these materials to the new client, new staff. Trainer can always step in with the same pace. Even the trainers can track this new staff until which phase he is. First day, first month, or need a review. Their manager, from the trainer's feedback, manager can feedback within the same platform as well, so that everyone is aligned. Did this staff need a retrain, or it is successfully passed the probation periods? They have done all the understandings, so everyone's, when they become a confirmed staff, everyone's is aligned. How this staff is, how this staff understand about the company or about the team. All this can be done by just repeating the same materials. So of course here, the next questions will be, how does Classroom support collaboration among learners? Collaboration among learners, this part I will say is more towards how trainers you want to design your activities, and Classroom have the tools for doing the collaboration parts. Let's say we want everyone to put in feedback in the same blackboard, we can do it there. Classroom to engage on a lot of flexibility, but this one a bit, I feel a bit hard to explain to you with just my mouth. Then I will, because after this we do have a sections, a live sections in Classrooms to show you the demo sections, how actually all the interaction look like. Whatever I mentioned in the presentation just now, how actually it looked like for the participants, or how the trainer can do that. We do have a sections for all these interactions parts. You can register later, or you can get my teammates to help on that. So that I would like to leave it during the interactions parts. So of course, when it comes to an interaction, all this is a bit challenged where you just see from your eyes. I will always prefer where you experience yourself. So even we doing it online, how actually it can do the interactions or experience the interactions part when you are as a participant. So of course, I believe you have some doubt, or you still need to align like how actually your company can make a switch, or how your company can improve on your current training flow. You can always ping our teammates the email, or those who share you the link with. You can get the informations there from them, or you can from them you get in touch with me to have a live sections for you. So that's all for the Q&A sections, and yeah, that's all for my side.
So that brings us to the end of today's session. A very big thank you to B for the insightful sharing and to all of you today for joining us. And again, I would like to do a special thank you to our sponsor Vimeo, a platform trusted by teams worldwide to deliver high quality, secure training videos and digital content. And just so you know, eLearning Minds is the authorized reseller for Vimeo. So if you're exploring ways to enhance your training delivery, we are here to help. And lastly, again, I would like to remind everyone, if you would like to explore more about ClassIn or join our next session, we have dropped the form link in the chat, so please do check it out before you leave. And thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.